Aloha everybody, I'm Jesse Wald, a real estate broker here on the beautiful island of Maui, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to calculate potential rental income profits on vacation rentable condos here in Hawaii. So if you're a first-time investor, or even if you own properties throughout the country, but maybe not in Hawaii yet, you're probably a little nervous because you just don't know what to expect when it comes to rental income versus property expenses. Well, I'm here to take the mystery out of it for you and show you how I would calculate potential rental income and property expenses if you're working with me as one of my clients. So obviously, rental income profits is a simple equation. It's the rental income minus the property expenses. But where do you start? How would you know what to project as far as rental income for any given property? And where do you find the expenses? What expenses should you consider? Let's dig into it. So I think the easiest way to explain how we calculate rental income profits is to use an example. So for this example, we're going to use a Maui Sands one bedroom. If you're not familiar with Maui Sands, it's a vacation rentable condo in South Kihei, and I recently did a video on it that you might want to check out. Let's start with the rental income. There's a couple of different ways to explore what the potential rental income on any given property might be. The first way is to take a look at past rental income of that particular unit. The challenge with past rental income is that not every single property is going to have past rental income to share. Not all owners are necessarily using their property as rental income units. They might be just using it as personal use or a second home. So what we like to do instead is to take a look at the future projections. And we do this through a rental income study. The company that I work with does a very thorough rental income study based on the condominium complex and the unit size. Let's take a look at how we do these calculations. You're looking at a graph of a rental income study for Maui Sands one bedroom units. You'll notice that we take a look at three different comparable units, which are designated as comps for short. We have a low unit, a middle unit, and a high unit. The nightly rates for each one of these comparable units are found on current rental portals like Airbnb and VRBO. You'll also notice on the left side of the chart that each one of the comparable units is broken down by the seasonal rates. Maui does have consistent rentals throughout the year, but the nightly rates can vary significantly based on the season. Towards the bottom of the chart, you'll find the estimated total revenue income, as well as the estimated average nightly rate. These figures factor in all the fluctuations throughout the seasons to show you what the total rental income could be if the unit was booked 100% of the time. From here, we need to factor in the occupancy rate. The occupancy rate is the percentage of time that the unit is occupied by paying rental guests. This is calculated at the bottom of the chart with three different potential outcomes. Occupancy rates will vary depending on how well the unit is managed, the size and popularity of the unit, and how much you choose to use the unit for your personal use. A well-managed 1 or 2 bedroom unit in this market should achieve 85 to 90% occupancy rate. All of this boils down to our expected gross rental income for one full year, shown as high, medium, and low units and an average of all three. For this example, we're going to use the average of all three comps at 85% occupancy rate, which is $60,406. Okay, so now that we calculated the potential gross rental income for an entire year on a Maui Sands one bedroom, we need to plug in the expenses to figure out what the potential profit might be. This is where I'd like to introduce my income and expense spreadsheet that I use to make these calculations. Let's take a look. For this example, we're going to assume a purchase price of $775,000. Let's go through each one of these line items so you have a full understanding of what we're looking at. Starting at the very top, we have the expected gross rental income. This is the number that we calculated from the rental income study on the previous chart. For most owners, it's a good idea to hire a property manager to manage your unit. So we will want to factor in a property management expense, which is usually around 25% depending on the property manager. So we take the gross rental income and subtract the property management expense. This gives us our net rental income. Next, let's take a look at the property-specific expenses, starting with the maintenance fees, also known as the HOA fees. As of right now, the current monthly maintenance fee for our example, Maui Sands 1-bedroom, is right around $589 per month. Exactly what is included in these maintenance fees will vary depending on which condo complex we're looking at. But the maintenance fees for every condo complex will almost always include utilities like water, sewer, trash, as well as maintenance of all the common areas. In our Maui Sands example, cable and internet are also included in the monthly maintenance fees. This means that electricity is the only additional utility that we need to factor into our expenses. For a unit this size, you can estimate right around $125 per month for your electric bill. The next line item is insurance. Now, most of your insurance requirements are going to be covered in the monthly maintenance fees, but you'll still want to purchase interior contents insurance as well as liability insurance. These are usually relatively inexpensive, but of course they depend on the unit. For this example, we're going to plug in $50 per month for our insurance requirements. This leaves property taxes as the final calculation in our expense column. Property taxes are public record, so they're easily found on Maui County website. The next line is simply all the property-specific expenses added together for your total expenses. In the summary, we simply take the net income after the management fee, subtract our property-specific expenses, and this will give us our estimated cash flow. If you purchase your property with all cash and you don't have to consider a mortgage expense, this is where our exercise would be complete. As you can see, after crunching all the numbers, we're estimating approximately $30,000 in annual cash flow for this particular property. However, if you're not purchasing your property with all cash, we have to take one more step and factor in the mortgage expense. Most short-term rentable investment condos will require 30% cash down. In some cases, there is a way to put less cash down, but for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to assume 30%. Mortgage interest rates are very fluid and constantly changing, so we will want to make sure that we're working with the current Condotel interest rate. For the purpose of this exercise, we are going to assume 5%. When we know the current mortgage rate, the percentage down we plan to put in cash, as well as the estimated purchase price, we can plug the numbers into a mortgage calculator and determine the monthly mortgage payment. In this example, the online mortgage calculator gave us a monthly payment of $2,912 per month. And as you can see, after you factor in the monthly mortgage expense subtracted from the estimated cash flow, the property is slightly in the red. You don't quite make enough to pay for a mortgage and all the expenses. So that's it. That's how we calculate potential rental income profits for any given property here on Maui. Now keep in mind that some units will perform better than others when it comes to rental income ROI. It's also important to state that any investment comes with risk and rental income is never guaranteed. That being said, these numbers are usually fairly accurate and rental income does tend to go up over time. So the reason I chose this particular example is because it's about average. Yes, some units will perform better than others, but it is good to go into a potential purchase with the right expectations. You're probably not going to get rich on the rental income. Most investors make the bulk of their profits when the property goes up in value over time. But in the meantime, you have a beautiful vacation rental property on one of the best islands in the world that you can come enjoy whenever you want, and the expenses are mostly paid by the renters. Generally speaking, we can expect for a cash purchase somewhere between 3 to 6% return on investment, that's cash on cash. And if you carry a mortgage and you find the right property, you can break even and sometimes realize a modest profit. So that's it for this tutorial. If you found the video helpful, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more relevant real estate content. And if you're considering purchasing a vacation rental condo here on Maui and you want to work with an agent that is experienced in evaluating and purchasing vacation rental condos, please feel free to reach out to me. Not only have I helped dozens of clients purchase their own little slice of paradise, I also own a vacation rental condo here on Maui myself. In fact, I recently did a video tour of my personal vacation rental condo that you might want to check out next. So that's it for now. We'll see you on the next one. Aloha.